Hello, this is Casper, the Magic 8-baller. I'm recording now episode 4 of Squire Rose solo. Before we jump into that, I have a little announcement. If you are a fan of my YouTube channel, you will know that I have been working quite some time on my own role-playing game called Dogs in Chainmail. So, just before we start playing Knave 2nd edition solo with Rose, I'm going to talk a little bit about Dogs in Chainmail. You could call it a little intermission, a little commercial break from the usual stuff. What did I want to say about Dogs in Chainmail? Yes, it is finally coming to an sort of state where I am guess I'm ready to get it out in the public. There are still some I still have some few bit minor concerns about combat, and that is because I currently use some rules from Bandit's Keep, some called Unchained, and they are sort of man-to-man combat using the chainmail rules, but it's sort of revised through Bandit's Keep's sort of lens. But I'm thinking that as I can't really I have to think of a way how to get around that so it's not Bandit's Keep's Daniel's words from Bandit's Keep's sort of writing that I use, because I of course shouldn't copy anyone else's rules. So I'm thinking of a way to sort of flavor them to make them more sort of into still, of course, heavily inspired by those man-to-man combat rules. So yeah, I just wanted to show it. So yeah, then the other last thing right now, it kind of, if you would read it, it would look like a mess. It still needs some design choices. But I will show you anyway, and it's missing some drawings I have made, but I have to work things around to make things fit. And so, even though it's quite close to the public eyes, it also needs some structure here and there. One other thing, I think that I will want to do before it gets ready for the public is that I want to show some sort of gameplay here on the channel, where I have 3 characters I've made, and we're going to make them on index cards here, and we're going to make a character together, and then we're going to just to do some sort of dungeon delve. But anyways, let me just go through it here as some sort of introduction. The character record, rules for making a character. And I should say it's based on sort of Whitebox OD&D and chainmail, but with my own sort of, it's sort of what it actually is. It's actually sort of a rules a rules convention or a hack of those rules to fit my own campaign setting. And I thought it could maybe be fun for others to also play a role-playing game in a sort of Calisotian sort of fantasy, whimsical setting. Yeah, this game takes place in a world called campaign setting called Calilot, and it of course is a can you say combination of Karl Barks Calisota and then Camelot. It is not so much a Camelot. It's more like a fantasy setting, but I just thought it was sort of fitting that Karl Barks called his Dogberg universe sort of Calisota, a mix of California and what was the other thing? Minnesota, I guess. So place where the sun always shines, almost. Yeah, and you can play as instead of men, I call my sort of the characters or the have a general term for theme or oh my god, my language. Term for sort of the races in general. They're called morphs because they're anthropomorphic, and you can play as again as a cleric with cleric variants. You can play as a fighting morph. You can play as a wizard. You can play as a thief, and then you can be. Let's get it back again. You can play sort of the morph backgrounds are pork, adult morph, duck clubs, which is of course a homage to Dragon Slayer and the new Labyrinth Lord. They both have Cyclops, and I thought, hey, what the hell? I think we should have duck clubs. I mean, it's the new thing, right? It's a and then we have junior morphs, which are sort of resourceful kids who sort of takes on the role, the equivalent of the wee folk in your typical OD&D campaign, like dwarves and halflings. Then we have the elf, which is the Canids, and they sort of are the fox and the wolf. The foxes are sort of the wood elves, and the dark elves are sort of the wolves. So, yeah, and porks is are the half orc, and they are of course a mix between an orc and a pig. So. What else? Yes, I can say that the magic system just uses, because this is just a campaign, sort of a hack, but it is also a campaign setting, so it just uses OD&D Whitebox magic rules. Except that you have to roll to cast spells in this game. But let's delve in more into that when we get there. We got our inventory, we got the combat rules, and those are some of the things that look quite confusing at the moment. Yeah, so as I said, I'm really close to nailing it, I think. Yeah, but that's it for now. Let me set my... not it for now. That's Ducks and Chainmail for now. Let's set the table for Knave 2nd edition with Squire Rose and the gang. Oh yeah, one last thing before we start. I am really sorry about the sound quality of my 2 latest videos. That is why I rolled in the big guns, the microphone for this episode. Although it's getting really cramped here on my table and around me. I have a lot of stuff going on. I really need to clean my room. Luckily, you can't see it. Oh, but 1 sec. There's some sort of timer on my speakers, and they sort of off. I want to hear the music. When we play. Where was I? Oh my god, I lost track. How could I? Oh yeah. Microphone. I'm really sorry about the sound quality. I don't know what. I think it's because I tried to use the computer microphone and it simply doesn't work well. But getting a microphone stand, and I have, because those of you who also play computer games from time to time know, and like fantasy role-playing stuff, you know that Elden Ring just got out with an expansion, and was starting a new character, and so I have an Xbox under my feet as well, and all sorts of tons of crap lying around on my table, whatnot. Yeah. So, without further ado, I think we should jump right into the action here. We ended last time where Knave, Bellringer, communed through singing with some sprites. And I had this idea that I don't think that there's this thing. I don't think that the sprites, because you know it says here in Hex 4 that there are whispers in the wind. And as I said last time, I think it's the sprite sort of whispering in travelers' ears and giggle and whatnot, kind of fairy tale-like. But what I think is sort of happening is actually that these sprites are in a Fey realm. And right about here somewhere, there is some sort of, the channel is open. We're perhaps close to a fairy door. And the fairies said that in order to help Nifur with the humans of Galgasby, his little Fey army, he agreed to help finding an inventor or engineering sprite that was missing, or who had been abducted by someone or something. But I'm thinking that this is in the Fey realm. So they are actually asking the party, to travel to the realm of the Fey, to free this sprite, this inventive sprite, from something or someone. So, two things. I think we have to come up with a name for this little sprite, and I'm thinking we should roll maybe on Freebooters of the Frontier, supplement for Dungeon World, and there should be some halfling names. And I'm not sure, I don't think we rolled the sex of this sprite, so we're going to do that now. 1, 2, 3 is male, 4, 5, 6 is female. It's a male sprite. We're just going to roll on the halfling names here, because they're sort of closest sounding, I think. And then we can maybe tweak the name a bit. But let's actually roll a name. 17. Branko. Or Banco. 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 What about Branko? I like Branko better, I think. So, a sprite named Branko. I'm just writing some details down here. Branko the sprite. And I'm wondering who has kidnapped him. I'm guessing it's someone, or I'm interpreting that it's someone. Let me get the character sheet up again. Who is in need of his powers? Someone in the realm of the Fae. Who could that be? Let's roll it. Let's roll some words. Oh yeah. I just I watched the Dungeon Dive last night, and he was sort of giving a review of Knave and how to solo Knave. It was a really good review. He mentioned 2 books you could use. Perhaps there are more than just those 2 oracles. I'm using a sort of a mix of my own and other published stuff. I'm using Gum, for instance. But there was this little thing called... let me see if I can find it. It was called Little GM Emulator by Gustavo Coelho. I kind of like it. There's some things about how to use time while playing, or keep track of time while playing solo. I don't think I want to use those rules. I haven't tried them, so because I just got it really. Sorry. But it does have some other really useful stuff. I'm thinking to keep this sort of concise, no, not concise, but within the same, get some, what do you call it, consistency to this solo play. We're going to use, at least today, the Little GM. Was that the name again? The Little GM Emulator. And let's try and use it. So. There are some things here, though, that where you have to follow those rules of the time generation to come up with challenge or danger rolls or random events. I'm not going to use it. I just said that. Anyways, let's try and ask an open question. Who would perhaps capture Branko? So it's a D66 tables. Yeah, I should maybe use 2 of each color, but that is 22. on the action table, and that is decrease. And the blue one is the tense. Decrease secret. That doesn't really give me anything, and as a rule of thumb, Gustavo says you can, if you think more than 20 seconds, you should re-roll. I'm going to use some other descriptors in this book. There are some detail tables here as well. There are some adjective things here. I'm just looking at them to see if it could be useful. Let me try and roll. 13 is environment. Yeah, doesn't really help me. What about on the fantasy adjectives over here? Let's see if I get some sparks here. Enchanting. Otherworldly. Yes, we already established that. I'm missing a who. Is there a who? There's an NPC generator here. Maybe I should actually roll on that one. That would actually be more fitting. That could be quite funny. Let's try and do that. So gender appearance is ambiguous. Yeah, I could go with that because this is probably some sort of fey creature. His height. Average height. And what is average? Is it because I'm thinking that in the realm of the Fae, there are all sorts of different Fae. We have sprites who are tiny. We have someone like Ifur. We have someone like B. Lindelin. So I'm guessing that the sort of average Fae is around between either B. Lindelin's height or Ifur's. Around that. Whatever. Then the age of this NPC. He's an adult. Yes. Would be really funny if it was a child creature. Oh, I would have loved that actually. Somebody who needed a play friend. I just stole him because I needed a friend. That would be funny. His personality. Did I say his? Their personality trait. Oh, that's a 12. Yeah. 10. Moody. The build. Skinny. Clothing. Common casual. I'm going with otherworldly. Okay. Let's roll up his attitude. Unfriendly. Yes. That's -2. And then we roll on... Oh yeah, that is more if I need an interaction. I forgot to put on music with the wonderful Legends of Dwarg. who have been accompanying me the last couple of sessions. I absolutely love it. Although this particular song right now gives me a bit stress. Sorry guys. I need something calm. This sounds like it. Okay, let's do this. So the more detailed mood of this NPC anxious, apprehensive, worried. Yeah. Motivation. Vengeance. Oh, now we are rolling something useful. Sorry, I have to blow my nose. I think I need to use Knave. Yeah, I know I'm not really keeping this flowing fluently right now, but I think I need something more. We have some. We have monsters in here and NPC details. I'm thinking we need a goal. Other than revenge and 61. Get revenge. Yes, we know that. That's just an emphasis on revenge. The avenging theme. Frighten a city. Yes. Yes, I'm getting ideas now. I'm thinking that the sprites have some sort of city. Sort of the sprite's capital. It might not be really big or anything. It's sprites. It might be up in some sort of tree. And I'm thinking that because I think we rolled an engineer type. And I'm thinking that this sprite is sort of maybe head of, some. Maybe he's sort of head of a guild of engineers or something, who's sort of caretaker of some of this structure of this tree, something vital if they have like issues in the in the realm of the Fae concerning their capital, their tree, their infrastructure. And I'm thinking that this particular Franco, particular sprite, is invulnerable to the city. And I'm thinking that by capturing him, sort of puts sort of a jeopardy on this on the sprites, because he wants to frighten the city. I mean, why does he want to frighten the city? I need more motivation here. Oh, I paused the music. Yeah, I need. I know I said I would try and keep to the little GM today, but I'm thinking I need to expand on what I just said. I think I have to go with gum, because it has tables for motivations. So I'm going to use that for evil motivations. As you can see here, on your left side, you probably can't read it because the letters are too small. Let me roll on that one. Okay, so we have a case of where it's just selfism, egoism, and pride. Okay. I can see why maybe a fey creature would be so vain. That's fine. But I also think before we start, we need to roll a bit more about this. Sort of, if we could give him some sort of identity. I'm going to roll a 4-sided die and a 20-sided die on the character identity table. So that is... Oh, he's sort of a faction leader. So maybe it's a faction dispute. And we do have factions in Knave. So, I said that one faction was sort of the city, or the maybe more correctly the city itself. It could also be sort of the engineers sort of union, guild. But who is this? Maybe they even know his name. I'm thinking a bit if you've seen the Smurfs, like Gargamel. Oh, we're rolling the Gargamel of the Smurf land. No, we're not. Okay, I'm going to roll some faction, or roll a faction. A crime family. So it's sort of a family of criminal fae. And maybe this is the sort of their leader, the head of the... So this is sort of, maybe it's so, I have an idea, you know. We have, I don't know, here in Denmark, and I guess also Norway and Sweden, we have these sort of folklore, or not folklore, sort of legends of, yeah, it's, I guess, folklore, with 3 trolls, with, or maybe sometimes more, with father troll, mother troll, and little troll, and the little troll. I'm beginning to think that it's sort of a troll family, with father troll being the Patriarch. And then we have the Matriarch and the whatever that is called. I'm thinking it's trolls. Who else would capture sprites, right? I think we have enough now. But we're going to ask the sprites how to get there. Because I think that Rose's quest will have to wait. Or again, due to the her weird vision, I still have in back of my mind that it could be some sort of fey horse. Although that would be maybe too OP. I don't know. Let's do this. So, oh, a name. A name. We need a name. We've already played 36 minutes and we've moved nowhere. But we need a name. My god, we need a name. Does gum have names? It does not. Then we refer to freebooters, and once again, I'm thinking... Let me have a look at these names. Maybe a dwarf name? And then sort of play around with the name. I can't read it, one sec. Does it say? That sounds almost too dwarfish. Goirin? Ah, I don't like that. That sounds like Lauren. 15. Doibur. Doibur? Doibur? Can we get something... Dobby? What about Dongbur? It's a troll, right? So let's just say it's trolls. So let me roll one more time. I think I might have an idea. Can't read it. Loylia? Oh, I'm seeing a name here that I can read. That's called Nigna. Kinda like that. So, Branko the Sprite has been kidnapped or abducted by Nigna. The troll. Head of a criminal family of trolls. And I'm thinking that this Fey realm is sort of, in a way, identical to the real world. The real world in which Rose lives, at least. But it is sort of slightly different. So I'm thinking and I'm thinking it's all about opposites and stuff like that. I'm thinking we're looking for a dead tree. That is what I'm thinking. Because that would be the sprite capital. So maybe we can get Knave to ask the sprites, because I think we called upon them again. That is why we got all these information out of the sprites. And the last question we ask: where is your capital, and how do we your city, and how do we get there? And it's of course within the same hex. I'm thinking at least. Let me make this map a bit bigger. Could also be to the north, because we got a magical woods there of mixed trees with crystals, singing crystals. Yes, you know what? It's the neighboring hex in hex 3. Whoops. So, we are going to have to travel a watch up into the hex number 3. And one watch is 4 hours, so I cannot, sadly, I wrote it somewhere what time we had. I'm thinking it's sort of in the middle of the day. Yeah, I think it's around 4, so it will be around 8 when we get there in the afternoon. But we have to roll the travel hazard die. Fatigue. Each party member takes damage unless they spend the next watch resting. Damage may be higher in a severe weather or difficult terrain. In severe. Ignore this result while resting. Yeah, we're going to have to rest. So we're going to actually have to camp for the night. So that means that each character spends 1 ration. So. And Rose. Oh, you know what we forgot? Yeah, that's too late now. She does have a crude axe, but she actually only have an armor of 12. Because she also lost her shield back then. Okay, so I'm thinking that they haven't found the sort of the dead tree in the woods where the singing crystals are. I think it's near the singing crystals. Next 3, somewhere, we are looking for a dead tree. Because in the Fey realm, this would be a really beautiful tree that is not dead. Quite the opposite. Yeah, I have a bit back issues. So I'm thinking I'm going to roll a travel hazard die. While camping for the night. Is that reasonable? Yeah. Yeah, ignore this result while resting, so it indicates that you should use this when you camp, I guess. So, going to roll to see how good we sleep. We have interruptions. Sign. The players find a sign, page 10, that a random encounter, page 19, is nearby. The next time an encounter is rolled in this hex, the player character meet that creature. Alternatively, reveal a clue to something hidden. Sign of the tree. I'm going to roll one time on the signs table. And then I'm going to just interpret that is a sign of the tree, one of the signs, we have a combined roll. Combine it with a roll. So, dams. Oh. Dams? Damn. I'm getting an idea here. I'm thinking, speaking of engineering sprites, we find a sort of miniature You know what? We're looking for a place to rest, or the party is. And it's so dark that they really can't see. But I'm thinking they can begin to hear those singing crystals somewhere. And then one of the party members sort of steps in a puddle of mud or something similar. But if you were in the fairy realm, what the character would have actually stepped in would have been a dam. A fairy dam. So I'm going to say that the other sign that they find is that they simply find the dead tree. And around the dead tree, sort of in a pond, I'm thinking. In the woods. And if they... I'm thinking that... What am I thinking? I'm thinking that... Nifur says... Oh, why do we stand here and linger here? I know what to do. Come on with me. We have to sing to the singing crystals, of course. We have to go there now. It can be any time of day in the realm of the Fae. Come with me. He sort of just pulls Rose's hand, and everybody else follows, and they're walking through the shallow water of the pond. And he starts singing again. And you can see sort of in the dark, sort of the crystals, the singing crystals sort of light up in the background like bulbs. And he starts singing this horrible song, I'm thinking. And he activates the gate to the fairy realm, and with a little, they are transported to the realm of the Fae. And here is where I take a little break. We only have about 10 minutes left. Yeah, back from the little break. I will have to have a little break again. On one other thing, I don't hope you can hear the sound of the summer outside, the sound of a lawn mover. I don't think that it looked like the microphone picks it up, but that's a wee bit annoying. Anyway, I like the sound. Not when I'm recording. And one other thing, it seems like he's moving the lawn, mowing the lawn quite a lot. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need music again. We are, all of a sudden, the characters, the party find themselves standing in the most beautiful blue water. And then they can hear shouting from underneath. And it's a group of sprites flying up to them, saying, "Get out of our dam! Get out of our dam! Why are you standing in our dam?" And the characters take a few steps backwards. And then they are looking up and they see that it's beautiful, and their eyes are hurting because it's most beautiful daylight. Blue skies everywhere. They're in a sort of half-open forest and looking up at the canopy and the sun shining down through the canopy. And they see this magnificent tree. Huge. I'm not thinking like a gigantic tree here. Huge tree. Beautiful tree. And loads of small sprites are flying around, doing what sprites are doing. Some come and are really curious. Some are perhaps mischievous and like pinching the characters everywhere and giggling and whatever sprites are doing. And then I'm thinking that an old sprite appears and says, "Nifur!" Is this a man or woman or something else? It's a woman. "Nifur!" she says. "Old friend!" And Nifur sort of steps forward, steps up to this sprite that is sort of, I'm thinking, sort of descending down. And this is really whimsical sprite with grey, enormous hairdo, little glasses, and I'm thinking moth-like wings, and it's sort of dusty. And I'm guessing this is I'm not guessing, I'm interpreting that this is an old friend of Nifur. And then she looks around at the parties, and then she sees Belinda Lynn. I can't almost say it. And then she says, "Oh, a fae of the honeybees. You're welcome here. But who are you?" and she's looking at a Grimwald and Rose, and then yeah, and I'm thinking that they can understand each other because they're in this Fey realm, and then they got this. The others got this ability to understand the Fey language. I'm just saying that. I don't know why. Maybe just to make things easier. That yes, Nifwa says the sprites of the swamps to the south said that you had a problem that we could help with. That your engineer Branko has been kidnapped by the troll Nigna. And then a shade comes over the face of this elderly Fae, who is perhaps the city official, some sort, or the head of the Sprite Council or something, whose name is. Let me just quickly pause and find the name. Oh fuck! I just noticed that. Sorry for swearing. I sorry for using the F word. I just discovered that I wasn't recording, and I've been recording a whole lot. Let me recap it. The fairy, this elderly fairy, says that her name was Primrose, and that not only has Branko been kidnapped, but the troll Nigna also damaged parts of the dam. But the engineering union and the workers of the engineering team sort of patched it up so that it holds now for some days, but it needs, of course, some repair. But these repairs can only happen if Branko is, or the right kind of repair can only happen if Branko returns, because they need Branko's advice. That is more or less that. Too bad that actually okay solo play got not recorded. Anyways, so Nigna and his cruel family of trolls live not far from here, but still a bit of a journey. So, what to do? I'm thinking that in the realm of the Fae, the time works differently than in the players' sort of the real world. So there's that to keep in mind. Also. And I'm thinking that, because I want to keep the video around the hour mark, that we can't go much further, sadly. But I'm thinking we're at a good spot here to actually... we are at a really good spot for adventure and further adventures. And I'm thinking that until next time, I'm thinking that Primrose sort of equips the characters with some helpful items in order to have a meaningful go at these trolls. Some secret sprite powers. Because I'm thinking that the trolls are not to be trifled with. But there must also, I'm thinking, be a reason why maybe the reason why Nigna and his family couldn't disturb or destroy more of the town is because it has some defensive magic, sprite magic. And I'm thinking that also the maybe the trolls do not know this, but due to the destruction of the dam, they sort of need the powers of the pond or the dam, of the waters, and I'm thinking that their defensive powers are sort of diminished now that the dam is sort of not entirely destroyed, but that it's sort of endangered, at least, and they probably couldn't stand another attack from the trolls. I know I did roll that he was only going to frighten the city, but I'm thinking there's more to it. Maybe he didn't know that he was actually also almost sort of damaging the sprite capital. Maybe he wanted Branko for another reason. We don't know. We have to find out, but we will find out in the next episode. Until then, cheers!